to this happy place, welcome.
Hey guys, it's Tim, and welcome to episode 95 of the Dreaming of Disney podcast. I'm joined by my beautiful wife, Adrienne.
Hello. How long has it been? Well, it's just been like a week and a half.
Yeah,
huh?
we're kind of on a bi-weekly schedule.
Yeah, we'll see if we make that a thing.
Yeah.
I don't really want to
Put a label on
I don't want
us.
to put a label on it. I don't want to put us in a box, because when life slows down a little in the winter, maybe we'll want to talk about things every week.
Maybe.
Right now, it's just scheduled and busy lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now it's really just, lots of stuff going on and just hard to find the time.
Yeah.
So then if we're like, I don't know. I don't think bi-weekly would be a bad thing.
No. If we end up recording, you'll know because there'll be a new episode that week. So
maybe if at the end of the summer we're still feeling like, you know what, that's probably a better idea. I feel like bi-weekly we'll forget. Or if it's something we do every Sunday, it's like we remember.
Yeah.
But if we do it every other Sunday, we're gonna be like, wait, did we do it? No, and then it'll be like a month. We're gonna be like, oops. That's what I feel like will happen.
Yeah. So, but we did the impromptu Genie Plus one.
Right.
Excuse me. Lightning Lane
Maxi
Pass.
Maxi Pass. It's just a new. I haven't been on our Disney Instagram.
There was a reel that I saw. I meant to share it with you, and I forgot. It was probably one of the times that when the late night Instagram scrolls while up with our toddler,
The teenager.
It was a inside the board meeting, the executive meeting at Disney when they decided to change Genie Plus.
I think I saw this up in the middle of the night, so it's like a blur.
There was like 3 executives, and one was like, I have a great idea. The other one's like agreeing with them, and the other one's like, this sounds a lot like FastPass, but they're ignoring that third executive. But yes, I thought it was pretty funny.
Well, for Disney World, yes, I did see that.
Yeah.
For Disneyland, it's like, it's the same.
Yeah.
I thought it was, you said the other day, because that it was slower and they discounted it the other day.
Yeah, so July 5th, the day after July 4th, Independence Day.
Right, the day.
What?
July 5th, the day after July 4th.
The day after July 4th.
Wait, it's the day after July.
It's the day after. Disneyland, it was discounted. Everybody, because
How much do you know?
$24. So normally it's $30. And
So for a family of 6, it's like getting one free about.
yeah. And everybody was confused. They're like, wait, why is it? But they're still advertising as the lowest price as $30. So, but they discounted it and people were saying it was so slow.
Nice.
Dead.
It looks dead right now. It's like Rise is only 45 minutes. Guardians is 80 though. But that's interesting. Guardians is 80. Racers is 45. So Racers is less. That's kind of crazy.
Maybe one of the elevator shafts are down.
That always freaks me out because then it's like I've been in line where it's like they opened one up right before they like put you on. You're like, what was happening though?
Yeah. Why did this one break down?
Yeah, but we won't be recording next week.
No, unless we do it. No,
unless we do it early. But it would just be like it would most likely be like, hey, we're going. I think we should.
Yeah. So
because we're leaving Sunday morning, and we usually record Sunday night.
Yeah.
So.
But we're thinking about doing like what we did with our Disney World trip.
Oh, right.
Doing the live recording.
So
we're not going to be just by ourselves. We're going to have 4 boys with us.
Teen/preteen boys. But maybe it'll just be a little later that week. But because you won't have time to edit when we're there. But it's a quick trip.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But
You wanted to mention something before we get started.
yes, I did. So we keep things pretty upbeat and happy here on the
Yes.
podcast. We're talking about Disney after all. But we had some very, very sad news. And we had some friends of ours and the dad and the son, who is in between our two oldest boys, I believe. I want to say he's
12 or
12.
12. Yeah.
Yeah. But this whole family, they're a Disney family. They love going to Disneyland. The dad and the son mentioned to us that they liked listening to our podcast together. And earlier this week, the dad passed away from a long illness. I'm not going to say their names because it's private. But and I don't know if they were still listening. He was sick for a long time, and it's not like listening to this is a priority. But Ed, I'll call him M, the son. If he still listens, I wanted to tell him we were thinking about him and that I am very honored and happy that we did something that him and his dad enjoyed together. And that if he still enjoys listening, that I hope that it still brings him some joy.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I just didn't feel right not saying it. I don't know if he still listens, but just in case.
Yeah. Thoughts and prayers are with that family. They're a great group of people and great Disney fans, and very sad. Yeah. But we hope if they still do listen, that helps keep their minds off things, kind of make things,
little break, maybe
little break of all the grief that they're going through. So moving on.
I know it's a hard segue. I know, but
it's started with it or end with it.
And but I didn't feel right not saying something.
No.
It's just been obviously like we've known this family longer than we've done the podcast.
For
and
sure.
I just obviously have been thinking about them all week and it's on my mind and I just wanted to mention it. So, okay. So what are we doing?
So we're going back in time.
Yes.
To our Disney World trip back in February. One thing that we never, because all we did was we just kind of did the live recap and then kind of talked about the resorts and how the trip was.
The resort. Take me back.
And how, that trip really redeemed Disney World for us. But we never really did any ranking or anything.
Right.
So this week we are going to rank the top 10 thrill rides at Disney World. So I came up with the top 10. You came up with the top 10.
Right. So
we're going to compare.
We did top 10 because as I was going through and just quickly seeing, and so these are at all 4 parks at the Disneyland Resort.
Disney World.
Oh, sorry. Yes, Disney World Resort. There was more than I realized. There's a good 1, 2, 3, 4 that I've never been on, personally. So the ones I counted, I'll just say which ones I come up with. You Disney Worlders, let me know if there's one I miss, and we can update. We can give an update in a later episode. So
All
I
right.
came up with Tron, Big Thunder, Mine Train, which some might not view that as a thrill ride, but it is more of a roller coaster. I didn't count Barnstormer, but Mine Train, there's some good drops in it.
For sure.
I counted Tiana's Bayou Adventure because it is open. We obviously haven't gone on Tiana's, but it's the same track as Splash Mountain. So I was like, okay, we can put it in there. Flight of Passage, Everest, Cosmic Rewind, Test Track, Slinky Dog, Space Mountain, Tower of Terror, Rock and Roller Coaster, Smuggler's Run, Rise, Mission Space, Cali River Rapids, and Dinosaur. The only reason I counted Dinosaur, that's one of the ones I've never been on, but I know it's the same track as Indiana Jones, which would be considered a thrill ride.
For sure.
So I was like, well, I've never been on it, but I know you said it was loud and dark, and so I just threw it on there. But then when we realized that there was so many, and then some we've never been on, or it's just Mission Space and Cali River for you, I think. Because I never got to go on Rock and Roller Coaster or Dinosaur. But we just thought we would give each of our top 10 for fun and to reminisce, because I really want to go back.
Oh my gosh, I want to go back so bad.
I was thinking about it the other day, and I was like, well, gosh, we haven't been to Disneyland since February, which is not a long time. I realize that. But that's not even true. We were there in May. And
it was just that trip was so bad.
It was just such a blur. And it was like at the end of such a difficult couple of weeks, months. And I'm just like, oh, that's right. What did we do? I don't remember.
I don't
it
remember
was
much
just
from that trip.
A blur. And I do remember thinking, oh my gosh, is Disney World like creeping up, and like I'd rather go to Disney World now?
Well, it's new and different. We've done Disneyland so much.
But there's things. There's things, Tim. The feel. Disneyland World had more families.
Yeah.
Disneyland has more influencers and like just groups of Gen Zers being influencers.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's other influencers of you out there that I do like. Don't worry. I'm not talking bad about you. I've been a brand rep for.
There's a lot more locals that go to Disneyland.
There's a lot more locals.
That go to
and
Disneyland.
The feel over the past 10 years has changed a lot.
Yes, it has.
Where the feel at Disney World was more families, because families from all around the world go to Disney World. It used to feel like that. You used to see people from other countries more at Disneyland.
For sure.
Maybe not more. I'm not saying more than Disney World. I'm saying more than now.
Yes. Before COVID.
Yeah, before COVID. But then when we go to Disney World, it's like there's people from other countries. But it's like you don't see as much of that at Disneyland. It's more locals. And it's a different feel.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
So it's not the park itself. It's the feel from the people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, anyways.
I could go for some Grand Floridian right now.
Oh my gosh. I just want to smell it. We aren't staying. We do have the candle that doesn't really work.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
But I just sometimes, I'm like, Jan, I smell all my candles. I smell it. I do smell it. I did think the other day, I was like, I need to go put my, the body scrub and the lotion I got.
You got all those bath bombs that you haven't even used.
It's been summer.
Yeah, I know.
Well, or warmer. Where we live, it's a very warm climate.
It's 116 today.
Yes. And so it gets hot early. So we got back. And it's just a crazy time. So I know I did the other day. I was like, oh, but I'm like, okay, yeah, it's 116. Bath doesn't really sound nice. But I was like, I just want to smell like the lotion and the stuff I got, because I never want to use it because it's special. I got it at the shop in the Grand Floridian. Anyways. Okay.
So how do we want to do this? Oh, before we start. So friends at Disney World is awesome. Matt, one of the co-hosts, is at Disney World right now.
Oh, he's still there?
I believe so. I believe he's still there.
I haven't been following too much.
He posted about Tiana's.
Mm-hmm. I shared it.
He calls it like
Princess and the Frog Splash Mountain or something.
Frog Splash Mountain or something like that. He just posted a picture of the ride photo, and just the caption was, "It's better!" !
Yes.
So we'll have to see about his trip recap. I don't know if it's going to be this week or next week, but be interested to see what his thoughts are.
Yeah. I want to listen, because you know what though?
Because there's a lot of conflicting reports.
Really?
A lot of people are like, "Oh, it's great," Other people are like Splash Mountain was better. As far as like, obviously the ride's the same,
Right.
But the theming and the story of the ride,
which
a lot of people are conflicting on.
a few episodes back, we watched the ride through on our podcast. Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to try it. We don't have a date yet for Disneyland, so we'll see. But
Disney World, you did it again.
no, I didn't. I said we don't have a date for Disneyland.
Oh, I thought you meant for going to Disney World.
No, well, we don't have that either. But we don't have a date where Tiana's Bayou Adventure is opening in Disneyland.
Correct.
But as far as like I said in our podcast where we watched it, like the lighting and the colors and the artistry of it looks beautiful, and it's the same like ride through. So I could actually see myself really liking it. I think I will miss the song and all of that just because it was very sentimental of growing up going to Disneyland and zippity doo dah, all that. But yeah, I know. I want to hear his thoughts. We'll have to
One more thing
tune in
before we get started. I read this article on Facebook. This has nothing to do with Splash Mountain.
Okay.
Another tangent.
Okay.
But I thought it was really interesting.
I just clicked on a reel on accident.
Is that Inside Out?
It is. We didn't talk about Inside Out 2. We saw it.
We
Did you guys
watched
see
Inside
it?
Out
Have
2.
you guys seen it?
Really good movie.
Really good.
It was an article about when California Adventure opened in 2001. About the ride, which is now Monsters, Inc. The ride that was before it, which was like super limousine, Hollywood, something.
I don't think I ever went on it, but I remember,
So
but I don't.
it used to be, it was originally a thrill ride. So it was a fast thrill ride. The premise was that this is in the Michael Eisner days, CEO of Disney, before Bob Iger. The premise was that you were the superstar. You were the superstar celebrity, and you were just you're trying to get to the Chinese theater.
Yes, I remember this.
To sign a contract with Disney. And Michael Eisner was the person on the screen who was telling you the story and before the ride started. And so you're racing to get to the Grauman's Chinese Theater.
Yes, I've read this.
But on the way there, you were being chased by paparazzi and got sidetracked, and you end up not making any time, and you don't get the contract.
Right.
Shortly before, actually, it was while they were installing the ride,
Princess
Diana died in a car crash caused by paparazzi.
She was being chased.
She was being chased. So they thought, oh, this is in very bad taste. We have to change this.
Yeah.
So it turned into a slow ride where they just put up like cardboard, like cameos of celebrities that Disney already had contracts with. And you rode in these little purple limousines going through, LA, and people were talking about how bad it was and the horrible reviews of this ride, and how one of the reviews was like, Disney burns us to the ground. And it only lasted less than a year, and they closed it, and it didn't open up back. It closed in January 2002.
2005. Monsters was new in 2005.
2005. So like 3 years before it opened again, Monsters Inc. I just thought it was really interesting.
Yeah.
It was like one of those old Facebook posts that popped up from like 2022.
Yeah, it's when you see how they've, like, I saw one a while back about Lilo and Stitch and how when they were making it originally, when they're chasing the spaceship, when what's his name? Captain Gantu or whatever takes Lilo, and then they're chasing him. Originally, they were going through like Honolulu, like the city.
Yeah.
And they were in a plane, they were in a 747 and they were hitting buildings and all this stuff. And then September 11th happened and they had to scratch that and redo the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So interesting, like history. I mean, that's good that they're aware and they
Yeah,
change
for
things.
sure,
They're like,
for sure.
this is not.
This is bad
Let's not
taste.
put this out.
So anyways, a little bit of tangent. But anyways, I thought that was interesting. All right, let's get to our list. So how do we want to do
Okay.
this? Do we want to go like
I
you
say-
go?
I say we go each. Like I'll do my 10, you do your 10. I'll do my
Okay.
9, you do your 9.
Okay.
No, I did this kind of quickly while I was doing other things. So let me just, I'm like, is this right? I'm kind of surprised at my
I
10.
know. I kind of did mine kind of quickly too while we were finishing dinner. But there's some on here that you might be surprised that I did not include.
I might switch my 10 and my 9. Hang on. I haven't ridden the 9 in a long time. I've only ridden it once. And I was unimpressed. Okay, hang on. I'm going to switch my 10 and my 9. This is my 9 now. And this is my 10. Okay.
Lay it on me. Number 10.
My number 10. Big Thunder.
Big Thunder. Okay. I can see that.
I wouldn't say it would be my, well, I don't know. But I don't think it
Did
would be
we
my.
go on Big Thunder in Disney World?
We did our first trip. It was
Okay.
the first thing we rode.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
And you guys, it was like the wait was short, but we didn't know our way. And I was assuming that the walk there was a very similar walk like in Disneyland. No. So
Yeah.
I kind of got lost. You were getting us coffee because we had not
That's
slept
right.
at all the night before.
That's right.
So we had traveled a long day. Then Georgia didn't sleep at all. It was like to the point where I was like, I don't even want to go. I was
right.
that exhausted. So you were getting us coffee and then you had to try to find us. So by the time we get over there, the wait time, of course, is more. Then we had to do a rider switch, but they did it differently there, which we didn't know. It was just a mess. It was just a
Yeah.
hectic mess. So I waited out. Me and Jack and Georgia waited out.
That's right.
She had already fallen asleep. Like that's how hectic it was. Like it was like 9 in the morning, 8:30 in the morning, and she was already asleep. And then Jack and I got to go through the lightning lane. But it's not as good as in Disneyland.
It's not. It's slower, and it doesn't have
They
a
don't
lot
have the
the effects.
yeah.
But yeah, the one thing that is different though, the queue is obviously different, but it's more interactive.
Right, which we didn't do the regular queue because we had lightning
You did,
lane.
yeah. I went through the regular one with Boston and Noah.
Yeah.
Okay,
What's your
so
10?
my number 10 is Space Mountain.
Whoa.
So
That's
Wait,
down there.
yeah, because it's
No, I
not-
don't like it
It's
either.
not that great.
Wow.
So
okay.
I was contemplating, does it even make the list? That's-
Actually, at first I was too, but then I was like, I've never even been on Cali River or dinosaurs.
Well, there's some on here that I did not include that you may be surprised.
Okay.
So-
Well, I don't think I'll be surprised if you don't include any Star Wars rides because
That's mainly it because
we have them.
We have those
we're,
here.
We're ranking like Disney World rides,
Yes.
right? I mean, I guess Big Thunder and Space are both,
The Space
but they're
Mountains, they're different.
Yeah.
They're different.
Or they're the same. The other two, the Star Wars rides are the same.
Exact same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Number 9.
Okay, number 9, Test Track.
I didn't even include Test Track on mine. I just realized that. And I'm not upset about that. I'm not. It's good, but I wouldn't put it in my top 10.
That's what I switched. At first, Test Track was my 10, and Big Thunder was my 9. But Test Track, it was faster than I remembered.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. Like the second time we did it with this last trip, I was like, okay, it is better than I originally thought. But yeah, what's your 9?
I'm looking at, should I put Test Track in? No, I want to put Test Track in there.
All right.
Number 9 is Tower of Terror. For me.
Yeah, that didn't even make my top 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was like, are you kidding me? Like,
Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, so much better.
Tower of Terror in California, I feel like was better.
Well, it was a newer version.
Because you only dropped like twice.
Yeah.
Like it, and
It
this
was
is
slower.
It was slower. I barely felt any butterflies. And then I was like, wait, that can't be over. Like, and it's not like I had never
You
ridden
spend all
Tower
that
of
time in
Terror.
the middle, traveling through
Yeah.
into the Twilight Zone.
It even Tower of, like, if you take out Mission Breakout, Tower of Terror in California, I think was better than Tower of Terror, and the building and the queue are really cool.
Really good in Disney World.
In Disney World. But the actual ride, even when it was Tower of Terror, was better in California.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that didn't even make my top 10.
All right. What's your number 8?
Space Mountain.
Space Mountain. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I like, it's still like the dark and like the story. Like again, it was one that I was like, okay, it wasn't quite as bad as I thought from our first trip, but still nowhere near
I just
Disneyland's
I
for
don't
me.
get the same feeling.
Not at all.
I do not get the same feeling of pure joy as Disneyland Space Mountain.
Yeah.
Because there's no music. It's just kind of
There's
like.
no music?
No, there's no music.
That is so weird. I really hate the ending where the picture is. Oh, no,
No, it's
I'm
at the
sorry.
beginning.
I'm sorry.
The picture's at the beginning.
The picture is at the beginning when you're slowly turning a corner.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah. It's like
Like the picture at
it's
the
so
end in
weird.
California, you know, you're zooming at the end and you're braking and then they snap the pic. It's just, it's a better image. And then the end too, I felt like you kind of just like came to a stop instead of like this, like quick. Yeah.
Matterhorn's better than Space Mountain, I think.
At night.
At night.
During the day, don't even bother, you guys. It's just going to break your back.
Yeah. I saw, speaking of Matterhorn, I saw a reel on Instagram that if you want to go through lines at Disney parks faster, always go to the left. So some rides.
Babe, we all know this.
It's the first time I've heard of this.
Because the majority, I don't know, this doesn't apply to you. The majority of people, I think the reasoning behind it is that the majority of the people are right-handed. And so they naturally go to the right. You naturally go to the left. You are a lefty.
I am a lefty. But they brought up Matterhorn at Disneyland, that the left side is faster and more intense.
I do like the left track better.
That line goes faster because that side of the track is faster.
It is faster. Oh, okay. All right.
So,
I think it's a better, I think the left side's better too.
All right.
Where are we?
We are on
7? Yeah.
Are we all set? No, I didn't do my number 8.
Oh, you didn't do your 8?
Slinky Dog.
Okay.
It's good. I feel there are more thrilling rides than Slinky Dog.
Definitely.
So, yeah, that's my number 8.
All right.
Number 7.
Slinky Dog.
Slinky Dog. All right.
Yeah. Because, I mean, like this, like, again, first time, all of the hype for it, I was like, okay. The theming is great. You and I spent a long time in that line this last trip.
Oh my gosh, we did.
Over an hour, I think.
I think it was an hour and a half we waited. I think it was about
Something
90
like that.
minutes.
We waited a long time. My body was really hurting. I can't remember. We tried to rope drop it.
It was
and
closed.
then it closed. And then I went to get us coffee.
Yeah, it was cold that morning.
And then they opened it, but they wouldn't let you in without me, without your whole party. So people went in front of us. I was like right behind you, but yeah. Anyways, but I think the theming is fun. And we asked for the back.
Yes.
The back is better,
For sure.
like most roller coasters. So yeah, not like a little disappointing if you're expecting this amazing roller coaster, but it's fun. Try to sit in or towards the back. But the theming is fun, you know.
Yeah.
I've never been on it at night. I'd like to try it at night.
Yeah, Slinky Dog and Big Thunder. Those are 2 coasters that are there's a
And
big,
Space Mountain in California.
Those 3 are rides that there's a big difference between the front and the back.
I meant California, the state, not the park. Obviously, I know it's in Disneyland.
Yes.
But yeah, the back is better in Space Mountain in Disneyland. Yep. What's your 6? Or 7?
7, Big Thunder.
Oh, okay. Higher.
So it's a little bit higher.
Yeah. Quite a bit higher.
Number 6.
Number 6, Mine Train.
Me too. Look at us. We should get married.
I think it's fun. I remember the first time I remember getting off and we were like, that was so good. Like we loved it. Our first trip. The boys loved it. Like I think I rode it with Jack. Or Noah. Oh, I feel bad now. No, Jack. I rode it with Jack. And because he wasn't super into thrill rides yet.
Yeah.
He's more into them now. Not all, but like, and he loved it. And like, it was, there were more drops than I was expecting. I thought it was going to be a little like more than Barnstormer, but similar. And I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting the bigger drops.
Yeah.
Then when you and I went on it, I was like, wait, I thought there were bigger drops, but I still really like it. I think it's a good one. I know that people say like, oh, the hype is, it's overrated. It's overrated because the wait is always so long, which it is kind of crazy that the wait is so long. But again, a cool queue, interactive, some really cool things like the spinny things, and then she'll pop up. Like,
it was because we did it during deluxe hours.
Yeah, so we did it late at night. So that was fun.
It was, they had like a little, because those gyms, like you spin the gyms and it plays like there's like a little hologram thing. Yeah. But if you spin all of them at the right speed, then it does like the like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs dancing scene.
Yeah. Like a hologram. Yeah. It was cool. And then there's just other things like water, interactive, like, So the queue is cool. I like it. Yeah.
All right. What's your number 5?
So this, I'm kind of surprised at what I did here, but I'm kind of, okay. Tron.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's down a little for me because, actually, I might switch my 4 and my 5. Hang on. At 4 and 5 are really close.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave them just because they're kind of equal. It's short. I thought you'd be outside more. Super fun. Yeah. But was shorter, and like I said, like you're inside for most of it. You're only at the outside part. That's the only part. Like the part you see people like, what? Like that's it. That's the only part you're outside. Yeah. And I thought you were outside more. And I just don't know how much I could do it. We did it twice. We did it once during the day and once at night. Yeah. And again, I wanted to do it at night so bad because I thought you were outside more. So I thought it would be cooler at night. But really fun. It's just, it's up there. It's kind of tied with my number 4.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. My number 5 is something that you never went on. Rock and Roller Coaster.
I wanted to go on it so bad. And I really still do. And I hope there's rumors they're going to change it.
I saw that it's opening back up again, and it's still
Aerosmith.
It's still Aerosmith.
Okay, maybe if we get to go again, because if you didn't know, our first trip when we went with our kids, none of the kids wanted to ride it, and so we did single rider. You did that. I don't remember what I did. I did something with the kids. By the time you were done, and then I went to go do single rider, the line was too long, so they shut down single rider. Yeah. And that was our last day in Hollywood. Like, we weren't going back to Hollywood, so I didn't have time to ride it. So I was like, that's something I have to ride when we go again for our anniversary trip, which our anniversary trip got postponed. And then Rock and Roller Coaster was closed for refurbishment. Yep. So I didn't get to ride it. So I really hope to get to ride it because it's like the one ride now that I need to keep. Like, I don't want to know anything about it. Yeah. I already know a little bit, but I don't want to know about it. So
trying to pull up
I love me some Aerosmith too.
Close for refurbishment. It looks like it's open. It's open now.
Well, then let's go.
Let's go.
Instead of Disneyland next week, let's go to Disney World.
Let's go to Disney World. Maybe we need to do a quick trip to Disney World before school starts in August.
Oh my gosh, that would be so amazing if we didn't have to fly across the country.
I know.
With 4 kids.
I know.
Although we talked about this a lot on our trip, like just how different it will be when we do take them again because of their ages.
Oh, for sure.
You know, I mean, like the boys were younger and not super independent yet. And Georgia was only 9 months old.
Yeah.
And they hadn't flown since years before that. 4 years it had been since they had flown. Boston didn't remember. He was a baby the time he flew before that.
Yep.
And this time it's like we'll have, by the time we get to go again, well, hopefully Noah won't be a teenager. Hopefully it won't be that long, but we'll have at least a 14, if not 15-year-old who like is fine, and then like a 12-year-old. And it'll just be so much easier. And the travel day, actually, it was a lot, but nothing went wrong.
No.
It was just a lot.
It was a lot.
So we were exhausted. And I think with the kids being older, everything will just go. And the fact that you and I have now been without them and kind of we figured things out more. We're like, okay, this would be better to do with them than what we did because this was this way, I think it'll just be so much better.
Yeah. Staying on Skyliner.
We were talking at dinner and I was like, oh, I really want to. Like, we have a different trip planned in the spring, but I'm like, oh, I really hope that sometime next year we get to take them back.
Just, let's splurge. Let's go. Let's do it.
Well, it's hard when our oldest is going into high school and you don't want to like just take him out.
You don't want to
it's
screw
like,
that up.
He's in high school.
I know.
Big time.
Gosh, getting old.
Oh, it hurts my heart. Okay.
All right.
So 5, what did you say your 5
I
was?
said Rock and Roller Coaster.
Oh, right. Okay.
So you're number 4.
Everest.
Me too.
We should get divorced and married again.
I know. No, we should have kids now.
Oh, okay. Let's have kids.
Okay.
Just one though.
None of this four kids stuff. That's just crazy
two
people.
Two tops. We're kidding.
No, we love our kids.
And we would do it.
3 of them are grandparents right now. So
we've only had one for the last 2 days, and it's been marvelous.
It's been great. No fighting. Hasn't been fighting. She loves playing with her brothers.
Yes,
but she gets frustrated because they don't want to play with. They don't want to play with her all the time.
Yes. So summer break has been fun. I'm like, are you guys going back to school yet? Because she's much more well behaved when you're not here. Okay. Anyways, Everest. Yes.
Yeah.
So the only thing with this one is, and this is why I don't know if it's like, if it is number 5 instead of Tron, we asked for the front because Haley from Happily Ever Haley Travel, if I'm saying that right. Sorry,
yep.
Haley told us like, yeah, get the front because spoiler, if you don't want to know, fast forward. You go forward, and then at a certain point, you go backwards for a bit.
So the front becomes the back.
The back.
Which is really fun.
The first part of it, I was kind of like, this isn't that fast. The backwards part is shorter than I thought.
Yeah.
But then the next part, even when we're going forward, was more intense than like the first little bit.
Yeah.
And it was fun. Yeah. So it's kind of tied with Tron. That's why I said I didn't know. So those two are kind of tied for me.
A little fun tip about Everest. I went down a YouTube rabbit hole one time.
Right.
I was just looking at how some of these rides work. And then Everest came up. And so there used to be a Yeti animatronic at the part where you start to go backwards.
Okay, because
I've heard people
say like, "Oh yeah, you see the Yeti." I'm like,
yeah.
Oh,
and so it was kind of similar to on Matterhorn.
Okay.
Well, Matterhorn is more like you zip by him and he's like swings at you.
Still freaks me out.
But this is like I guess it was much more intense on this. But because the animatronic was so big and heavy, it actually started to break the foundation of the ride.
Oh my gosh.
So they had to take it out.
Yeah.
Because it was too big. And so they replaced it with the projection of the Yeti pulling off the track.
I don't remember that.
There's like a projection of like the Yeti, like his shadow pulling off the track. And then you start falling back.
Okay.
Because of what it is, you're supposed to go up to the end of the track and there's a big Yeti animatronic like he's about to get you. And then you start going backwards.
Okay. I wish I wouldn't have known about the backwards thing, but before we went for our first trip, which is when it was closed, stinking Derek Huff
I saw that.
was at Disney World and posted a reel about it, and I didn't realize what I was watching. But it's still good, and I hope that the boys will want to go on it.
All right, number 3, top 3.
Now, this one is a total assumption. I put Tiana's Bayou Adventure. I love the track when it's hot. Like, come on. Like, I love water rides. I have always loved water rides. When I was little, the like log ride at Six Flags. Oh my gosh. Like, I love water rides. Like I said a billion times now, the lighting looks beautiful. I'm not saying that I'll like it more than Splash Mountain, but I think it will probably be one of my, like, I want to ride Tiana's.
Princess and the Frog Splash Mountain.
Yeah, it's Princess and the Frog Splash Mountain because it's just a good ride. Whatever the theme is, it's a good track. The drop is so good. Like, it's just so good.
Yeah.
And so I think this is, like, again, it's an assumption because I haven't been on it, but
it didn't even make my top 10, spoiler alert.
Oh, I figured.
So, because I didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
My number 3, Tron. I thought it was super fun. Again, spoiler alert. If you haven't been on it yet, skip past this.
Skip.
Just the start is just, that's what makes the ride. That's the ride.
Yeah, when you start slow, you just go around.
Yeah,
you like get away from the people.
Yeah,
in the line
for the load in,
and then you
shoot off.
You shoot off. Yeah,
and just how it's the ride vehicle is unique. You know, riding on a motorcycle. It's just different.
Yeah,
it's just fun.
It is really fun, and it probably is more my 4 and Everest my 5. Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the only reason why it ranks higher, because it's just so different from your typical Disney thrill ride.
By the way, in case you don't want to ride it like a motorcycle, they do have cars in the back where you can just sit. Mm-hmm. So just putting that out there.
Yeah.
All right. I feel like our 2 and 1 are going to be the same.
I think so too. Go ahead.
Number 2, Flight of Passage.
That's right.
It's so good.
It's so fun.
The first time I've talked about this, it brought me to tears. And I'm not a huge Avatar person. Like, I've seen it once, and I've seen bits and pieces of it since. But once all the way through in the theater when I was newly pregnant with our firstborn. But yeah, like, it's not like I'm emotional about the story, but it was just so beautiful.
Yeah, so unique.
Just incredible, like, how they make you feel like you're actually riding this bird thing. What is it? Banshee, yeah. When you could feel him breathing.
Yeah. Like, it's
just incredible. And then I think it was the part where you were like where things were lit up, like the darker, like in Navi River.
Spoiler, that's my number 1.
It's a thrill ride.
That's so thrilling.
It is beautiful. But yeah, just amazing. This time I was so sad because the screens in this trip were making me a little nauseous.
Yeah, well, they were kind of like off. The screens.
I don't know. I remember, again, we're not obsessed with you guys, but Disney World is awesome. I remember Landon saying that his wife, I think, would get sick on Remy's. And so the first time we went, I was like, oh no. And I didn't feel a thing. I was like, oh, I'm totally fine. Yeah. This time when you and I went, right. I got like nauseous. And I was like, no, I don't want to get this way as I get older and like not be able to ride rides. Like, it made me feel really old and really sad. And then we went on Flight of Passage, and it was kind of happening again. Yeah. It did not happen at all the first trip. I'm like, what is it from going from like 36 to 37, or what would that be? 35 to 37, like, made me sick. It was so sad. But anyways, I hope I was trying to eat too. I was like having snacks. I was having like nuts and stuff in line. And I'm sure that helped. But the same thing with, we'll get there. But anyways, it's amazing.
All right, number 1. Let's say it at the same time. 3, 2, 1. Navi River Journey. What?
Barnstormer. Barnstormer
all day, every day.
No. Living with the
Living
land.
with the land.
The thrill of seeing how they plant and how things grow and how they use these things. No.
Fun fact about living with the land.
Okay, I'm sure.
Another thing that I found. You know why that you have canopies over the top of the boats?
So birds don't poop on you?
No, because during the rainforest scene, it actually rained. So like one of the very first parts where you're going through like, the different like, I don't know, ecosystems.
Right.
It actually rained like in that entire scene. And so that's why they had the canopies.
Interesting.
They don't do that anymore. So.
Oh, they don't do that anymore.
They don't do it anymore.
Oh, okay. So I didn't miss that. I was like, how did I miss that?
No. That's why they have the canopies over the boats.
Oh, okay. Because it used to.
They used to.
Okay. Anyways,
Cosmic
number one,
Rewind.
Cosmic
It's the most
Rewind.
The most amazing ride. I stand by it.
It truly
It's
is.
so
Now,
good.
again, if you get motion sick, we apologize, but I don't.
I was really expecting to be more motion sick.
I was too. And like, I was just going to say when I said, oh, I'll get to that, like, because there's big screens there's big screens the whole time, but the first part, you're looking more at the big screens for like the story once you get in the car. There's screens when you're just standing, but then there's screens when you're in the car. The screens when you're in the car, do you have glasses?
No.
Okay. I was like, oh, shoot. Like, am I going to feel nauseous? And the ride hasn't even gone. But I was okay once we got moving and I wasn't looking. If I didn't look around and try to look at screens, then I was okay. But both times we rode it, people were throwing up after.
Oh, yeah.
Like bad.
Like laying on the ground. Like
yes.
Head in the garbage can.
Yes. Like bad. And it did break my heart a bit I'm like, oh gosh, like that is, I feel, and the fact that they're holding it in. Oh, it's just sad. Oh, okay. Anyways, it's a great ride. Good. It's a great ride. We were just saying, you shared a reel earlier about the different songs that you get. I do think the music is better in California Adventure for Mission Breakout. Mm-hmm. They've got some Jackson 5.
Yeah.
I love me some Jackson 5. I can't think of anything else right now. All I can think of Jackson 5. But I was a little disappointed in the songs. Mm-hmm. The first song we got now is like, oh man, because the first time, like, there's some rides you can ride. I'm trying to think of one, or maybe even it gets better. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of what it might be, you can ride Incredicoaster. Well, Incredicoaster shoots off, so if you don't realize that, you probably do because you can see it. You can
see it, yeah.
That ride, like, doesn't get less. Mm-hmm. Like, it doesn't get, but like, the second time was great, but the first, because we didn't know.
You don't know what to expect.
And so I just remember, like, if you could have seen my face, if there would have been a video of my face, I was like in shock.
Yeah.
In like the best way. Like, I just had a huge smile on my face and my arms were up and I was just screaming out of pure, like,
joy,
surprised joy. Just like, I can't believe what is happening right now. And this is amazing.
Yeah.
Where then the second time, you know what's coming, you know? So like I wish I could experience it for the first time again.
I know. It's like, you can't, it's hard to explain.
That's why I want to ride it with someone for the first time.
It's like, you don't realize that they could do that with a roller coaster. It's like, it's so smooth. It's
so
the smooth. I think that's probably why people get so motion sick, is because of how smooth it is. It's just, it's like, it's just so good.
But in a similar way, like, if you're out there and you ride Rise of the Resistance, spoiler, fast forward, there is a mini, and I really express the mini drop. But you don't know it's coming.
You don't know it's coming. Yeah.
So I'm like, I've written it a bunch of times. It's coming. It's pretty small, so you're not like, oh my gosh. But a couple of times I have written it now with someone for the first time, for their first time.
Yeah.
And it makes it fun again.
Oh, for sure.
Because they don't know it's coming and you're sitting there and and their reaction. So maybe it would be similar to Cosmic Rewind. It's like if I
hope we can get our boys on it.
The oldest, absolutely not.
No,
he will pass out
he will
or
pass
throw
out,
up.
throw up.
He's sensitive to spinning. He doesn't like spinning.
Yeah.
So he's a no. He's a no. Excuse me. It just depends on when we get to go and how old they are and how they change in the next however amount of time. Because
I think we could get Boston on it.
We might be able
our
to get
youngest
Boston.
boy. I think he's our thrill seeker of the four.
Yeah. I think his face would be
would love it.
Cutest thing in the world. His
it.
face would be amazing. Yeah.
Oh man. So I put a question out on Instagram.
Right.
Just asking our followers, those who are still following us, because
I know we haven't been on there. I'm sorry.
We've been busy.
It's just not a priority, you guys.
Yeah.
It's a hobby.
What's your number one thrill ride at Disney World? And it's pretty much split between Cosmic and Guardians, and Cosmic are the same thing. Cosmic and
Flight of Passage,
Everest.
Oh.
So we have Catherine Lynn 27. She says Cosmic or Everest. So it's time for her.
So they're up there for her. Okay.
We have Whole New World with Q. She says Guardians, Cosmic. So that's because Disney World and Disneyland, we both
have a Guardians.
We both have a Guardians,
right.
And everyone refers to them as Guardians.
Right. See, we would that go to both? We have to differentiate.
Yeah. So Cosmic Rewind.
Now I will say,
Breakout.
Guardians. What was I gonna say? Oh, Mission Breakout.
Yeah.
Because that's the same. That's what it was. Tower of Terror, and then Tower of Terror didn't even make my top 10 here. But Mission Breakout.
Oh, for sure.
It is way up there for me. It is.
I would say a top 3.
Yes, I think we've done it before. We have to go back, but I'm pretty sure it's in my top 3. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. Matt, Disney World is awesome.
Hey, Matt.
He says Tron. Tron is his favorite.
Oh, okay, nice.
I can see that. He's a very intense guy.
We don't know him.
Just from what we know of him from the podcast.
Are you intense, Matt? I don't know. We don't. We don't know you.
Adventures by Lindsay P. She says Cosmic.
Yes, very nice.
And then Jared K. Miles says Everest.
Okay.
So, little quorum there of responses.
What?
Quorum.
What is that?
It's like a group of people. A quorum.
Okay.
A quorum is a group of people.
All right. You'll learn something every day.
So, yeah.
Well, nice. Yeah, it was nice reminiscing.
Mm-hmm.
And,
now we just got to go back. Now I want to go. Now I want to go. I don't.
I want to go.
Here's
the thing.
I don't want to go to Disneyland this coming weekend.
What?
Ouch. I want to go to Disney World.
You want to take our 3 boys and our nephew to Disney World?
No. I don't. But I still want to go to Disney World.
Yeah, because we're leaving the girl behind this next trip. She doesn't realize it, but she's very, very smart. I know all parents say that, but she knows how to spell. She's 3, and she knows how to spell ice cream, because if the boys try to ask if they can have ice cream and they spell it, she's like, yeah, ice cream. I'm like, shoot, you guys. Also, I said this on Instagram, but it was so stinking cute. So 4th of July, our neighbors are shooting off full-blown illegal Disneyland fireworks from the cul-de-sac. We live in a cul-de-sac, and the ones right next to us, and then right across the cul-de-sac from us.
3 houses.
Extremely loud and obnoxious.
It's like, it's fine.
and
Do your
illegal.
thing. Do your thing.
Well, because our other neighbors
Earlier
do
in the
like the
day.
sparklers.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay.
But when you start getting to 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night,
And
it's
they're
like,
doing,
come
like,
on.
I'm not kidding. And there's a house behind us. I think it's like a neighborhood over, but you can,
Yeah.
we sit on our couch and open our blinds because it's full blown Disneyland
She's just
fireworks.
playing wondrous journeys out here. You know,
We
just-
should,
it's just
seriously.
like-
So, anyways, Georgia amazingly slept through the first part of it,
yeah.
but then there was a little break,
Yeah.
and then a couple went off again, so it woke her up. So then the next morning, we weren't even talking about it.
Yeah.
We didn't say anything, and she goes, "Disneyland, wake me up." And she was talking about the fireworks.
Yeah.
Woke her up, and she said it was Disneyland, and it was adorable. And also, we're like, "Girl, you go to Disneyland too much." Like, if you were 3 and you already know, Disneyland, wake me up. But
But
anyways.
she refers to Disney World as
Oh yes,
the blue Disneyland,
blue or big,
the big
blue,
Disneyland.
blue or big. I've heard
Yeah.
her say.
Referring to the castle.
Yeah, she's talking about the castle because we've tried. She's wanted to watch the fireworks on YouTube,
Yeah.
and I tried to play Happily Ever After or something from Disney
Yeah.
World, and she's like, "No, not this one,
And then pink Disneyland is Disneyland.
Disneyland."
So it's referring to the
So cute.
castles.
But so yeah, we have to be a little sneaky. Well, I don't know how she'll do, but it's a short trip. But
it's a one-nighter.
no, I hear you. I really want to go too. I just have no idea when we can.
Yeah.
Stinking life and kids getting
I
older
know,
and like
I
having
know.
their own responsibilities.
Schooling.
Ugh,
Maybe we
they
should go
could all
back to
just be
homeschools
like-
and we can just go whenever we want.
Bite your tongue, sir. we should go back to homeschooling because you homeschooled the kids.
I did a couple of times. Like 2 times.
Oh my gosh. I remember coming out when Georgia was a newborn and you were taking over for me for a few
Yeah.
weeks. I can come in and be like, "Did you do this?" And you're like, no. Yeah. But you tried. You
I
tried.
tried.
It's a lot.
It
It's
is
a
a lot.
lot to come. It's a lot no matter what you do, but to come in on somebody else's already
sure.
established routine is very difficult. I was not angry at you at all. I already said that year, the last month was a wash because I had a baby. But I do miss that. Like, that was really nice. We went to Disneyland whenever we wanted. And
Yeah.
Disney World. We were still homeschooling when we went to Disney World.
Yeah.
But I'm still needing my break from it.
No, I think it's good for us.
The boys are all still enjoying being in public school. Oldest is going to high school, career technical high school, learning some skills that he can use to build his own Disneyland. I don't know. But it is, I'm like, oh, shoot. Like, they're just getting older. So it's like, it's not, even if they were in public school, be like, okay, and you're in like 3rd grade, okay, we can take you out for a week and go to Disney World, whatever. But
Yeah.
like high school, middle school, high school, it's like, oh, they're going to get behind. Like, it's
Yeah.
harder.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it makes me sad because it's like this transition of our family, and it's not like, oh, it's just for now. No, this is how it's going to go. And then he's going to be an adult, and then he's going to move out. And then
Anyways, before we go down this rabbit hole, follow us on Instagram.
yeah, do it.
Dreaming
While our
dot
kids
of
are
dot
still
Disney dot
somewhat
podcast.
young.
Dreaming dot of dot Disney dot. Did I say that right? Dreaming
don't
dot
know.
of dot Disney dot podcast.
There's a dot in between each word, you guys. That's what it is.
And there's a new feature that we're doing. Give it a try. If you go into the show notes, wherever you're listening to this podcast,
Look at the show.
whether it's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, YouTube, wherever we are, we're everywhere. There's a link at the top that says, send us a text message. You can send us a text message telling us how much you love our podcast. or
Or
you have a
telling us
question.
where we're wrong. Did I miss a thrill ride at Disney World? Tell us where we're wrong.
Whatever you
us.
want to send us, send it to us. And if it's appropriate and not vulgar or inappropriate, we'll read it on the show.
Yeah. No bad language. It's a family-friendly show.
So give it a try. Send us something.
Yeah.
And we'll give you a shout out. So
we will next week sometime. I don't know. We'll see. But hopefully the next podcast will have some live from Disneyland.
Maybe not like the full episode, maybe it's half, or we'll see.
Because
we'll see how much we can do.
The focus is not the podcast. The focus is our boys and this was what he wanted to do as a gift for his 8th grade. You know, take his cousin and the boys without
without their
the
baby
toddler.
sister.
Yeah, basically, without the toddler.
It's like that last trip was a wash. Let's try this over again.
They all just kept saying, "Oh, July's gonna be so much better. July's gonna be so much better." I'm like, hey, leave her alone. You know how many times we had to leave early because of you?
So many times.
For years, the oldest 2 left screaming every time.
Oh, that used to be so sad.
They were like crying hysterically every time on the last day. And they would cry all the way to the car. And then they would cry for the first 30 minutes or so of the drive until they passed out to sleep.
Until they fall asleep. Yeah.
But anyways, so that's our main focus is the boys and having fun with them. But so like you said, it's not going to be like a full episode, but we can insert some.
Yeah, but I mean, we haven't done a trip like this in a very long time. Like a quick.
Yeah, this is super quick.
1-night trip. We're staying in a new hotel.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, we're not staying on Disney property.
Nope.
We haven't done this in a while.
Good neighbor.
Yeah, so we'll give you a review of that hotel. But so that'll be coming either sometime next week or the week after.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, we appreciate you guys. Thanks for listening, and we will talk to you guys next time.
Bye.